I'm Janet Kinard. I'm a real estate agent for Coldwell Banker Landmark Realty.
And how long have you been here?
I've been in Grenada since 1974,
Wow, and where did you grow up?
Memphis, Tennessee.
You're a city girl. Who knew? You grew up in Memphis. Why did you move to Grenada?
I married a boy from Grenada.
Wonderful, the Kinard clan. And what have you learned about Grenada in the time that you've been a realtor? You must know more about Grenada than any 10 people alive.
That's kind of funny because I always tell people that I know all the dirt in Grenada. It's good and bad.
Right.
But yes, I did grow up with real estate and land development from my former employer that I worked for 17 years that developed almost all of Grenada during his lifetime, W.E. Timmis.
Ah.
So I have a really deep background in development and construction as well as accounting. It's kind of a mixture, but it works well for real estate for sure.
How have you seen it change during the time that you've been active in real estate?
I've seen Grenada grow. A lot of people say it just stays, stagnant, but they're not looking in the right places because we've had several major developments, actually working on a couple more major developments right now because we're desperately needing housing of all kinds. This gives somebody, an investor, a wonderful opportunity to move in here to actually invest in Grenada. Holmes Jr. needs housing for the students and the teachers that come in and out of here. We need home construction of every price point because we move a lot of properties in Grenada, and we're like listed number 2 in the nation. We were 15th in the North America within the last 6 months.
What's being measured when you're being ranked?
Well, we're in the top 10. We have an office of 10 employees, or agents, I should say, and we are just selling a lot of property. And Coldwell Banker gives us these statistics. So
it would be volume?
It's definitely volume. We do a lot of volume here, and we need a lot of new construction to happen here.
What is driving the demand for housing?
Well, one of the major draws for Grenada is our work base and then education. We are very fortunate to have a very good elementary education all the way through a 4-year college. And it brings so many people in here. We have a shortage of rental property because everybody wants to move here just to get in the county to be able to let their kids go to Grenada, because you cannot really come into Grenada anymore, Grenada County, I should say, anymore, unless you live over 30 miles from the other school.
We get people wanting to put up mobile homes on our farm on the county line so they can come in.
Right. They're looking for any type of place that they can get an address.
Yes, exactly.
Just to come into our school system. And so that drives our market up to, that we have a good volume because people are wanting to come here and live. And plus the quality of life.
So how would you describe the quality of life?
Well, it's laid back, but plenty to do. There's so much here to do that people's heads turn when they say, oh, there's not much to do. I said, you're not looking for it, because there's plenty to do here, plenty that's offered through tourism and all the natural things that are here.
What would you consider one of the top 2 or 3 the top 2 or 3 things to do?
Grenada Lake, the boating, camping. Hunt. Also, there's a lot of people that hunt around here. We have an abundance of wildlife, deer, turkey, and our fishing is outstanding. It draws Crappie USA here all the time. They're always begging to come here.
So tell us about what it's been like to raise a family in Grenada.
Oh, it's been a great experience. The quality of life here is hard to describe. It's more of a feeling that you feel safe. You feel like your child's safe. You know your neighbors, and they're friendly. It's just a real friendly town.
And is your daughter involved in extracurricular activities in the schools?
She is. She is currently doing art, tennis. She's involved in she has been cheerleading before, but she loves cheer, but she had had to have an operation on one of her knees. She had an accident with cheer. So anyway, but she loves cheer and she still supports cheer, very active in the pep rallies, and she just stays involved with everything. She's in the FCA, which is a Christian association, and she does a lot of charity work. So they are required to have so many service hours, to get into certain programs. In college even. It looks good on your resume. But she enjoys it. She would do it if it didn't.
And is she thinking about college at this point?
Yeah, she's probably going to Ole Miss after she goes to Holmes for 2 years.
Fantastic. So she will go to Holmes, you think?
That's the plan right now. And she may stay and enjoy the PTA school here, the physical therapist training, assistant, I'm sorry. But, because that is an awesome program for Grenada to have.
And it's new.
It's very new. Just opened last year.
So, Janet, you have done a lot to shape Grenada through the various transactions that you have helped to complete. And I happen to know that you do a lot more transactions than you actually get paid for.
Well, I try to assist when I can, especially if I do it as a, if it's not real estate, my real estate in, companies, listings or whatever, and I try to help where I can. To steer people in the right direction to move Grenada forward.
And you are aware of some of the possibilities for downtown. How would you see downtown possibly emerging?
Oh, I can see it just blowing apart. It could, with all the apartments upstairs, the future apartments upstairs, we need that so badly. I hear it every day. That they would love to have an efficiency apartment or a small space that they can live in, that they don't have to worry about maintenance on the landscaping or the yard work or any kind of exterior maintenance that they have to deal with. We have teachers that travel here as well from Oxford and different other towns that come in and just want a place that they can either sit and enjoy coffee, or either have a small space they can rent, and when they're here, that they would have a place to, spend the night instead of having to stay in hotels. So there's a big need for that. It's kind of hard to put your finger on exactly how much of a need it is, but we've had a lot of interest with when people find out that there's going to be apartments downtown in the short future, that it's been really exciting. So I think it's going to be a great thing for downtown. That'll bring, hopefully, restaurants. I've had several people inquire about space for restaurants downtown. And also some boutique shopping would be wonderful to draw some of the people from some of the strip malls that have the real quaint stores to come downtown.
Wonderful. So what are some of the barriers that you face in attracting people to Grenada? I know that some of our industry people have a hard time convincing middle managers to move here because their wives are unfamiliar. What could we do to address some of those barriers?
I believe we could have a really active downtown and more arts. A lot of the women are or the families want arts for their children, whether it be little theater, where it be art lessons. They look for things for their children to do and to stay busy, on that level. And also more organized sports, larger sports complexes. They are real interested in those type of facilities because adults want their children, families, oriented type sports available to them. And to help it flourish, it's what it's going to have to be. It's going to have to give those people that, the new hires that come in, they look for a active downtown. And we are blessed to have a awesome looking downtown that is actually still a square. There's so many downtowns that are not square, have a square. And we are very fortunate with that. So they expect something to be down there. I mean, the actual pavilion in the middle of the square is very beautiful. It's maintained by local clubs, like a donation type situation where they come in and they plant all the flowers, the seasonal flowers, and from time to time we have different events downtown, and it always draws a good crowd. And it's just we need a real active downtown to help us convince the people and the wives to come, because it's not hard to convince them about Grenada as far as housing goes. There's plenty of housing, that would suit somebody's needs, but it's just the things to do. Even though we're only 100 miles from Memphis and 100 miles from Jackson, they still want it to be here. In Grenada, I know I'm very active and always looking for something actually I can contribute to or work on, but some of the ones in our agency has been there a lot longer than I have, even, and watched Grenada from the begin, from years prior to my coming to Grenada in '74. They have jumped in and worked on revitalization, and they've worked on this and they've worked on that, and they just have not seen Grenada grow. But right now, with this push, everyone needs to jump on the bandwagon and give you a chance, us a chance, to actually show them we can bring Grenada forward. We can have an active downtown, and we can bring more people in here when we all pull together.
So with your statistics and selling, you could live anywhere.
That's right.
Why do you live here?
Well, I live in Grenada because I choose to. Because the quality of life it offers my family and myself. And we enjoy being here. It's just a feeling. And I don't want to leave that feeling. Because, one other thing. Reason I don't want to leave that feeling, I see so many people that actually do leave, and then they miss it, and they come back. You would be real surprised how many people cannot wait to get out of a town until they didn't realize what they had.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.